Good morning, First Christian Church. I'm here with Patti Wright. Your official title is
Children's Ministries Director.
Children's Ministry Director, and you've been working for the church since last June?
Correct. I started working here in June, but I've spent several years, I guess, working with Kids Club and other kids programming as a volunteer. So I've been doing it for a while.
And I'm interested in your background. So you were a school teacher?
Mm-hmm. I taught music for, more years than I care to say.
You don't have to say the years. We won't do years here.
And then I went into some informal education through the Children's Museum in Evansville, and then also with the Child Care Resource and Referral, 4C of Southern Indiana. So got into some more informal education, and then moved here, and I taught for 3.5 years at Danville Christian Academy.
At Danville Christian Academy. So, the thing that I'm picking up with you is that you are so good with children, and you've got a lot of experience doing this, don't you?
Yeah, I really love working with kids. They give me energy. Yeah. They zap your energy too, but they fill you with energy, which I love. So.
Yeah. And so you've worked with children all your life.
Pretty much,
and that's why. But Sarah and I have been so impressed with what you've done with Kids Club, and as I keep telling you, I'm impressed with everything you do.
Thank you.
And I'm thrilled that you're here. How are you feeling about your work here?
Oh, I love working here. I really do. I love what I do with the kids. I love planning things for the kids. And I've been on the outreach committee too, so I get to dabble in, kids outside our church with doing things, especially with Easter and Halloween activities that tend to be more child-oriented. So I love it. And
that's the real purpose of our visit, and we'll come back to that. But I also happen to know you have connections with the Pusateri family.
I do.
Grandma, right?
I usually introduce myself as Kira's grandma, Sadie's grandma, Jennifer's mom, or Joey's mother-in-law.
That's right. And you still spend a lot of time with the kids.
I do.
For example, tell us the latest with Sadie, and I know what you do with her every week.
Right. Sadie is very, very into ballet. Yeah. And so she goes 3 times a week. Well, actually 4 times a week right now, because there's an extra performance. She'll be in Beauty and the Beast in May. But she goes to Lexington 3 times or 4 times a week. And it takes Jennifer and Joey and I, all of us, to get her there.
And you take her a couple of times.
I do. And I love that because I get a chance to hang out with her, just she and I in the car, and she opens up a lot more. Yeah. And she's...
Oh, that's great, yeah.
She loves it.
And so how old is Katie? What grade is she in?
Sadie is 14. She's in 8th grade at Bate Middle School.
Okay. And she's had a birthday.
She did. She turned 17, which is amazing to me, in December. As Jennifer says, she's free-range driving now, so I don't see her nearly as much as I used to. But she's got some exciting news, and it was in the paper, so some people have seen it. But she was chosen as one of, I think it's 7 or 8 Boyle and Danville students. They're going to do an exchange program. They're going to Ireland.
Oh, how
So she'll go to Ireland for a week in July and live with a family, and then the teenager in that family, they will all come to Danville the following week. So that's pretty exciting. And she's also, her academic team and herself, they're headed to state. So Danville High School's team.
She is such an impressive young lady. What a wonderful thing.
She is, and if you drive through Starbucks, say Kira, and she'll come and maybe talk to you.
Okay, yeah. And Jennifer's on the school board now. How's that going?
She is. That's been interesting. But I think she really, she's really a good person to do that because she has a lot of experience in curriculum and educational design, and I think she's very thoughtful, brings a different approach maybe to the board. Very proud of her. She's also in the midst of working on getting her doctorate.
Yes, so she's how far from getting that done?
Probably she should graduate next spring or the December after that. Yeah. She's trying not to graduate at the same time as Kira, so we'll see how that happens.
And tell us about Joey.
Joey, he's doing great. He slipped right back into his sales role. Yeah. He's always been great at sales, and I think he's enjoying it. Joey, those of you who know Joey know he'll go out of his way for people, and that includes his customers. So it's not unusual for him to call and say, "Oh my gosh, I'm in Lebanon. I can't get back to get Sadie." I really think they're all really, really doing well. Yeah. They have a new house on Maple, and they're loving that.
That's great. And Joey's getting to preach some.
Yes, occasionally.
And he's thinking about doing some kind of ministry, and so
that's kind of out there floating around, trying to figure out what it's going to be. But Joey is very, as most of you know, very interested in making sure that people feel welcomed by God and a part of the Christian community. So he's working on something. We don't know what it's going to be exactly. That will be extremely inclusive.
Yeah. Well, I call Joey almost every week, and a lot of times I don't reach him, and I'll leave him a little message, and I'll say, "Joey, this is Mickey Anders from First Christian Church. I want you to know First Christian Church loves you, and so do I." And that's my message for all of them, and have deep concern for all of them, and they've been such a part of this church, and we love them and send them with our grace. And so let's move to your work, and let's talk. First of all, you had a big event last Sunday. Tell us about that.
We did. We went to Windjammers Fun Center and decided we would invite friends if they wanted to take friends, and we invited any of the youth who wanted to go. So we ended up taking both church vans because we had 18 of our kids and then another 7 or 8 friends that went with us. Oh, yeah. It was a really fun time. It was crazy. They were so busy that day that we had to wait a little longer than we wanted to. But I really think everybody had a good time, and no adults fell down skating. So
that's good. And who all were the adults who went with you?
Well, that was Stephen Hinkle, Nancy Mahan, and Mary McKittrick, and Martha Bryant. And then Casey Wilson also was there. She didn't tell me she was come, but she was there, which is great. And Catherine.
Well.
So we had a really, really fun group.
We appreciate all those adults who came and helped make it happen.
Yes.
Adults are a very big part of your work, aren't they?
They are, because I really need an extra adult every Sunday for Kids Club. So, and I have some great people helping me with that.
One of the things that I appreciate most about you is how you keep in such close contact with parents and all of your workers, and that support and encouragement and contact is so important, and I appreciate that about you. And so you have Kids Club, you have Worship and Wonder, you look in and check on the nursery workers, you're kind of overseeing all the things related to children. Anything else about that you want to tell me?
Well, yeah, every Sunday morning, some people, if you don't have kids, you may not know that Worship and Wonder, most people know about. That's for our kids ages 4 through 2nd grade. We have some wonderful people who are our storytellers and greeters. We also started having children's church, and that's for our 3rd through 5th grade children. Have some great people up there leading them in activities. And then, of course, Kids Club is after church most Sundays, and that's for kids kindergarten through 5th grade. And for every one of those programs, I need 1 or 2 adults to help. So it takes a village to raise our children. It really does.
Anybody that's willing to help out,
Anytime.
Please do, and you'll help provide them with materials and that kind of thing. And so you mentioned about our outreach to children in the community, which brings up the Easter event.
Right.
Tell us about that.
Well, I'm pretty excited because it was 2019, the last time we got to do an Easter egg hunt with the community. So we've talked about bringing that back again, and I reached out to some churches that have worked with us before. And we have right now, including us, we have 6 groups that are willing to provide this fun experience for our kids this year. And I want to make sure I mention them. The Presbyterian Church is one that said, yes, we will help. St. Peter and Paul Catholic Church, also we're excited about getting back in there again. Trinity Episcopal Church is going to help out.
Oh, good.
And then First Baptist, that's on the bypass, they haven't done it before, and they're very excited about helping.
Good.
A couple other churches are still trying to decide if they have the manpower to do it.
Yeah.
And then Parks and Recreation are going to be a big part of it too. So we're having.
And we've got a contact at Parks and Recreation.
We do. I was going to just mention Amber Schartzer is amazing. Her kids come to Kids Club, and I just called her and said, "Hey, what do you think?" And she said, "We would love to be a part of it." Great. So we're going to have it at Millennium Park again on the ball fields. Excuse me. I'm not sure if it's the softball or the baseball fields yet, but one of those complexes. We'll divide up the kids into 3 ball fields. So we have the toddlers and preschoolers on a field, kindergarten through 2nd on a field, and then 3rd through 5th on a field. And before they hunt eggs, we have each church is going to provide an activity of some kind, a craft or a game or something to do while we're waiting to get going. Parks and Recreation is going to provide some staff and an Easter bunny that we can take pictures with. So I think it's going to be a really
This sounds like a lot of kids.
Well, going by 2018 and 2019, Farrah Grant and Nancy Mahan, who've done it before, said we probably need 1,000 eggs per field.
Per field, that's 3,000 eggs.
Exactly.
What kind of eggs do you have to do?
Well, we got some to start. We actually have another tub of these, and then this tub. So
the plastic eggs.
The plastic eggs. Yes, we're not going to do real eggs. So whether you have, we really need some help. All of it, all the churches. Each church is going to try to fill 500 plus eggs. So if you are filling a small egg, 1 piece of candy fits pretty nicely. A bigger egg, 2 pieces fit pretty nicely. And we know that it's all about candy for the kids. We're going to hopefully, tell our story just a little bit in a very offhand way so that children realize it's not just about Easter eggs. It's about what Easter is about. But we're going to do that in a way that we feel like the community would be comfortable with.
And so you need people to bring eggs?
We really need people to bring plastic eggs. As many as we can get. They're on sale right now at all the Walmarts and the Dollar Trees. And then we still need candy. We have some candy left over from Halloween, and Terry Dockenhouse was very brave to test it out and make sure it was still good. But we do need candy and we need eggs. And then we're also going to have our own Easter egg hunt here for our kids on Palm Sunday. So we want to, we did that last year. It was really fun. So we just need a lot of eggs, we need a lot of candy, and then down the road, we need everyone to get the word out so that your neighbors know about it, your nieces, nephews, grandchildren. We want everybody to come.
Right. And at some point, you got to put all the candy in the eggs.
We do.
So you'll have a work day.
We will have a little egg stuffing party, and we're going to invite everyone who wants to come to do some egg stuffing. Yeah. It'll be a fun time.
That sounds great. You got anything else you need to tell us?
I don't think so. I think that's all I was thinking about for now anyway.
That sounds good. Well, I'm glad that we got to do this chat with Patti, and I hope you've learned some things, and we're so thrilled that you're here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.